Hi friend, I'm SURABHI. I'm a registered physiotherapist, pregnancy and postpartum fitness coach, and the owner of The Passionate Physio. I provide both one-on-one virtual physiotherapy and coaching sessions, and I have my base fitness membership, which allows people to get strong, gain confidence moving their body while managing their symptoms through pregnancy, postpartum, and well beyond. Today, I'm here to talk to you about neck pain and neck stiffness and what you can do about it. So first off, it's very common to experience neck pain and both stiffness, soreness, and there are multiple reasons why. One example can be sitting at a desk all day hunched forward, the lack of movement, not necessarily the posture, but the lack of movement away from that posture can be a big contributor. Sitting on the couch on your phone, watching a show, carrying a young baby or child hunched forward, feeding, holding, rocking. There are so many things that we do in our lives that are forward-based, doing dishes. And when we don't get out of those positions enough, our body complains. And when we lack the strength in our anti-gravity muscles, so the muscles up here, the muscles in our back, our forward muscles, gravity wins essentially, pulls us forward into these slumped postures, and our body strains or struggles to get out of it. So today I'm going to be going over some very simple mobility that you can do. And I'm also going to talk about my neck strengthening guide to fix or help address poor posture. So my guide contains 12 different exercises that you can do to start strengthening your neck so you don't experience flares every couple weeks or even every month. I know tons of people who have persistent chronic neck pain and tension, and they're doing all of the stretches and not really seeing the results that they want to. Stretches don't really resolve pain. Stretches can provide temporary relief, but often they can actually make things worse because gravity is pulling everything down. Do we need more stretching or do we need more strength to combat the effects of gravity pulling us down? So that's the question. And if you're considering, if you're like, you know what, Surabhi's right, I do spend a lot of time sitting, I do spend a lot of time slouched forward. Even if you're standing, perhaps your posture is more rounded forward. Try these exercises that I'm going to tag in my neck strengthening guide and check them out. But first, let's begin with mobility. What is mobility? Mobility is essentially movement. It's not stretching necessarily. Stretching can be a part of mobility, but mobility is more movement. And why do I focus on movement over stretching? Movement is just lubricating the joints in your neck. It's bringing more blood flow into the muscles. It's warming things up. Mobility is not stretching it. So think about an elastic band that's been in the freezer. If you just pull it out and you just snap it in half, if you try to stretch it right away without warming it up, you might actually snap that elastic band. It might actually break. But if you pull it out and you kind of warm it up in your fingers, then you start pulling on it, it has more elasticity, it has more resistance, it has more tensile strength. The same thing with our muscles. When they're cold, when they're literally just sitting in this position all day, then you go to move suddenly, you might tweak your neck. It's not that your body's weak, it's just picture your muscles in that elastic band analogy. They're just needing a little bit more mobility, blood flow, lubrication, warm up. So I'm going to show you some very simple exercises that you can do sitting at your desk or at home. You're going to grab a scarf. This is just a receiving blanket. Just going to fold it lengthwise or on a diagonal just so that you have a little bit of length to it. You're going to put it behind your neck. And what you're going to do from here is you're going to, before you actually start doing that, just turn your neck side to side. So let's say I have neck pain on this side, and it's really hard for me to turn my neck to this side. And I go to this side, and it's a bit better, but it's still really stiff over here on this side. Let's side bend. I really can't go any further than that. And the other side feels a little bit better, but it feels like a lot of pulling. I'm going to shrug my shoulders up and see, can I go further? Oh, I can. Can I go further? Still fairly pinchy on this side, right? Shrug my shoulders up, look over my shoulder. I can actually go a lot further this time, and I can go a lot further that way too. What does shrugging your shoulders do? It takes the tension off the bottom side of your muscles. Because when your shoulders are hanging down, you're putting tension on those muscles. You're hanging weight off of those muscles, and then it becomes harder for your neck to move. When you take the tension off, suddenly your range of motion improves. That helps to that's one little test that you can do on your own to distinguish whether it's a muscular issue, whether it's a joint issue. Sometimes it's both, oftentimes it's both. Okay, so you're gonna take that scarf, and let's say it's more restricted going to the left. Okay, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna put the scarf, let it hang here. You're gonna crisscross your hands. You're gonna use your right hand to grab the left tail, and then you're gonna use your left hand to grab the top, or grab the opposite tail and pull it up. And you're gonna turn to your left with your left hand helping you create that last bit of movement. So without the help, I can go to here and then it hurts. With help, I can take it a little bit further. Now here, I'm not shrugging my shoulders up or anything, I'm just relaxed, however my posture is to begin with. And we're gonna do 10 reps. You can use your breath to help you too. Inhale here, exhale, release. Think about letting go. Inhale here, and exhale, turn. Stress is often linked to pain as well. So if you're more stressed about your pain, you're gonna notice your pain increase. If you're stressed in general, if something's been going on in your life, the world around you, in your environment, and your stress is higher than normal, that can also make you more prone to injuries and pain because your cortisol is high, your inflammatory chemicals in your body are high. And so it's much more likely to experience pain in those instances. That's why people will be like, oh, I've been doing the same activity, I've been running forever, and suddenly I have this injury. And sometimes it's a traumatic injury, like you've had a fall or a trip and fall. But sometimes it's like, oh, well, I also moved this month. I also had, something happened in my family. There's all of these other events that build up close together that also increases your likelihood of stress. And stress doesn't always have to be negative. Sometimes the stress can be positive. You're just doing a lot of fun things. You're having a lot of fun traveling. That can be a fun type of stress, but it's still stress on the body. So lack of sleep, lack of hydration, all of these are stressors to the body and can increase the likelihood of pain. Okay, so while I've been talking, you might have already finished your 10 reps here. This feels really nice. And you can use as much or as little help from the towels, from the scarf as possible. And now you're gonna let go of that, and you're gonna do it on your own without that. And I can go a lot further now than I could before. And so you can check the other side. Oh, it feels stiff. Let's try it again with the resistance, or with not the resistance, with the support. There we go. And you're not pulling really hard. You're just guiding. You're just gently guiding the movement. So this is called mobility. You can do this, but it won't necessarily prevent the pain from returning. It won't prevent these flare-ups from happening. One thing that can be very supportive of prevention is moving your body more throughout the day, taking more movement breaks, and it doesn't have to be an hour-long movement break, but even just stepping away from your computer, stepping away from hunching forward. If you're doing a bunch of dishes and you want to get through it, or you're cooking, taking a step away from the countertop and just looking around, turning your head side to side, looking up. All of those things can help. And then check out my neck strengthening guide where I go over, I train you, I coach you on how to do these exercises, and I have a sample workout schedule that you can follow. And it takes about 12 weeks to really truly strengthen a muscle, but even after a few weeks of doing these exercises, the strength exercises, you're gonna start to notice that you have more resilience in the muscles. Your muscle memory is gonna be improving. Your postural awareness is gonna be improving. There we go, 10 reps per side. And now you're gonna just turn your head side to side and you're gonna say, oh, that's actually a bit better. Now we're not looking for a complete resolution of symptoms or pain or stiffness. We're looking for improvements. So let's say later on in the day, you just leave this handy on your desk or wherever you are, and you can repeat it a couple more times during the day to improve the blood flow. You can also do the side to side. It's just a little bit harder, so you can kind of support your head side to side. I would start with rotations first and focus on that. Our necks need to rotate to check your blind spot, to just respond to somebody calling you. And then looking up and down is also necessary. Most people don't have a lot of tension in looking down. So looking up can feel really pinchy. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna support the weight of your head in that towel, and you're gonna support it looking up, only going as far as you can. And you're not just letting your head hang like this. You're controlling that, which means the front of your neck muscles are helping add a bit of resistance. So they're working a little bit as you lean back. That feels really nice with that support. So my arms are getting a little bit of a workout holding my head there because our heads actually weigh quite a bit. There we go, 10 reps. Now, obviously use your own caution when you're doing these exercises. Use your judgment. If these are provoking pain, don't keep pushing yourself to do them. This is for anybody who has a little bit of a pinched or sore neck on one side more than the other. If you're feeling that stiffness, especially pain in the upper neck through here or inserting down into the top of your neck, that's a very common issue that people have. And if that's the type of pain that you have, these types of exercises can be really helpful. Even just moving your neck within pain-free ranges, even if it's literally from here to here and you're like, oh, it hurts to go all the way here, then that's okay. Stick within that pain-free range and try to get from there to there multiple times a day. That provides that lubrication, blood flow, and it may provide some pain relief as well. Awesome, so I'm gonna share some links. If you want to check out more about my services, check out www.thepassionatephysio.ca. If you want to learn more about the neck strengthening guide, I will add a link down here as well. It's also listed on my website under guides and workshops. I also offer one-on-one services. So for anyone needing guidance with your neck, with your posture, if you have lower back or any kind of symptoms, I would love to support you through virtual physiotherapy. So I will add a booking link for that as well. And if you want consistent strength training and workouts that keep your pain and your symptoms in mind and also help you gain more resilience in your muscles, check out my BASE fitness membership. BASE stands for Be Active, Strong, and Energized, and it is a monthly subscription providing you with 30 to 35 minute quick and effective workouts that you can do at home, right? So let me summarize some of the things that I talked about today. We talked about some gentle mobility exercises using a scarf or a receiving blanket. We also talked about the importance of moving more throughout the day, and I shared with you 3 different ways that you can connect with me for services. My neck strengthening guide, I highly recommend. It's fairly cost effective as well. One-on-one services with me virtually, as well as my online BASE fitness membership subscription. So 3 things that you can access. And if you're not already on my email newsletter list, hop on that list. I'll add all of the links down here below. And if you have any questions at all, pop me an email, SURABHI@thepassionatephysio.ca. I love talking about this stuff. I love supporting people through pain and symptoms so that they can move better and feel better. You know, I'm an athlete. I love cycling. I love lifting weights. When I have a neck flare, or if I have a neck flare, I don't want to be limited by that. I want it to resolve as quickly as possible so I can get back to doing the things that I do. But if all I'm doing is stretching and icing or heat, that's not using an active approach, and it actually takes even longer for those things to heal. Using an active approach where you're using your movement and you're using your body to help it heal is often the most effective way to go. Awesome. I hope you have a fantastic day and don't get too many neck flares.